Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to a classic quilt block and show you how easily it can be Stribologized. This block is called Klay's Favorite, and it was first published in 1937. Now it has other names in a similar coloration, but this classic 3 coloration is what was published in 1937. Now, you can find the worksheet on our website, download that for free. It will have an uncolored image of the block where you can color it in any which way you can, but this is the classic colorway. It will have the finished sizes of each of the units in 3 different block sizes, 10, 8, and 6. Also some fun views of the layouts if you do a horizontal layout or on point. But let's break the block down. So this is a classic 4-patch block where we can split it up like this. That means that you can piece these 4 and they are always the same, just turned each corner. So first off, we're looking at half square triangles in 2 colorations, one with the red and the white, the other one with the red and the tan. So you would be making, I made the 10-inch finished block, so I made my half square triangle finish at 2.5. You can find that conversion sheet in the Master Your Stripology Rulers book on page number 9. And so 2 at a time, which means because you're making 4 and 4, I would just do the 2 at a time if I'm making 1 block. So that means I cut my squares that I start with 1 inch larger than the finished size, so I cut mine at 3.5. And then what we're looking at here are just squares that are going to finish also at 2.5 inches. So that means you have to cut them a 1/2 inch larger to include that seam allowance. And for 8 inch, it would be 2, 6 inch would be 1.5. Now, as I pieced this, I did my half square triangles together, and then I sewed my 2 squares. I sewed that together, and then I pressed these in a circle or spun the seams so that when I sewed the 4 together, it really worked out well because everything is spinning the same way and you don't have to worry about things that your seams won't match. They are matched everywhere. I finished the last seam just by pressing it open, kind of eliminating some of that bulk. Now, if I was piecing a whole quilt, using this block, I probably would strip piece my 2 squares, and then I would probably use some of the even speedier methods of making half square triangles, like the 8 at a time method found on page 11 in the book. Now here is what this block looks like in a traditional horizontal layout. As you can see, it creates those larger squares where those tan squares come together. This would be fun to do different colorations, so that could be a multicolor 4-patch as the block comes together. And here is a on-point layout. It will change up the star a little bit and create these rows diagonally of the background, which makes it really fun, and you really see a pinwheel out of the center block. Klay's Favorite is easier than it looks, and I hope you try it.